Yes, it's true. It's not a clickbait. I have finally quit consulting after 8 years of being in the industry and definitely looking forward to newer adventures. But क्यों, कैसे, कब, ये सारे चीज़ों का आंसर मैंने सोचा मैं इस वीडियो में दे देती हूँ. Hi everyone, welcome to Insider Gyaan. मेरा नाम सौमी है. I'm an IIT Delhi and ISB Hyderabad grad, and for the last 8 years I have been working in consulting, and I create a lot of consulting related videos on this channel. Also MBA related videos, career experiences भी share करती हूँ मैं इस channel पे. So all of that, if it's your jam, then you know what to do. Please subscribe to the channel. So like I said, I have been in consulting for 8 years and I finally decided to move on. इस वीडियो में मैं अपने reasons share करना चाहती थी और थोड़े बहुत learnings भी. Towards the end, maybe I'll also share what's next, some hints, but LinkedIn वालों को सबसे पहले पता चलेगा, I guess. So if you're not following me on LinkedIn, you know what to do. The link is in the description. Let's start with some of the learnings that I've had in my last 8 years of career in consulting. Because God knows there has been a lot. I mean, consulting ने literally मुझे आज मैं जो हूँ वो बनाया है. For as long as I can remember, I have been in consulting, right? And it has completely transformed me. Number one learning and takeaway has been, like I said, it has completely transformed me from a shy, underconfident kid who literally did not know how to conduct herself in an office place to this person today who is a lot more confident, who can talk non-stop about her work without a lot of hesitation and काफी confidently. और ये सब हुआ इसलिए because consulting में ना from day one you are given responsibility to lead a work stream and do your own work. You are the person who has to figure things out if you get stuck. You are the one who has to own that piece and also present the findings or insights to the client, to very senior people in the client as well. कोई मैनेजर नहीं है आपको हैंड होल्ड करने के लिए. यस, थोड़े लोग होते हैं गाइडेंस देने के लिए, बट हैंड होल्ड करने के लिए कोई भी नहीं है. और अगर आपने कुछ गलती करी तो प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए तो बिल्कुल ही कोई नहीं है. सो ओनरशिप ऑफ द वर्क इज tremendous. And if you get stuck, think of it, you have literally no choice but to go and talk to more people, try and understand from their experience how you can do something different for your piece of work. And it pushes you out of your comfort zone, especially for an introvert like me who really did not enjoy interacting with strangers. This has helped me quite a bit. And when you do something again and again and again, obviously you become a natural at it, right? If you falter, you really have to pick yourself up, learn a thing or two from that situation and do better next time. There is literally no other way. So you have to be good at your job. You have to learn things fast. You have to be confident, because if you are not confident, the client is not going to get the confidence from you and they're not really going to trust whatever you recommend to them. Second takeaway, structuring my thoughts properly. You know, शुरू में मुझे लगता था कि फ्रेमवर्क्स में, हर चीज में एक फ्रेमवर्क बना के चीजों को डाल देना ये कंसल्टिंग का तरीका होता होगा. But now I realize that it is such a powerful tool of communication. It simplifies things and day-to-day life में भी काफी काम आता है. To break down a difficult, informative thing to smaller bite-sized pieces which can be understood by lot more people. So you know, consulting में सबसे पहले हमें सिखाया जाता है 3 point या 5 point में बातें करना. Which means whenever you go to a client and tell them that, hey, here are the reasons why we think this is the best solution for you. You never say here are the reasons. You say here are the top 3 reasons why we think this solution is the best for you, or here are the top 5 reasons. You never say here are the 15 reasons why we think this solution is best for you, क्योंकि 15 is too much. अगर सच में आपके पास 15 reasons है, you will be forced to categorize them into 3 or 4 big buckets, और उन buckets के बारे में आप जाके बात करोगे. And today I realize that it's such a powerful tool of communication, because जैसे ही आप किसी को बोलते हो ना, here are the top 3 reasons, the इंसान becomes focused कि अच्छा 3 reasons आने वाले हैं. He may or may not listen to the entire conversation, but when you say number 1, he's going to listen to the words after that number 1, right? And he's going to get the crux of the matter even if he doesn't go into the details. It just makes a difficult or a complicated piece of information so much more digestible. And this is something that's going to stay with me for life. मैं real life में भी जब ऐसे बात करती हूँ ना, या फिर मैं Instagram पे कुछ चीजें बनाती हूँ, या फिर आपने देखा होगा actually अंकुर वारी को भी 3 reasons, 3 ways बनाता है videos. This is the reason. This is literally the reason. Number 3 takeaway is consulting has helped me explore the world and learn so much about different regions and different cultures. मैंने literally US clients के लिए काम किया हुआ है, Hong Kong, China, Singapore, Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia. It's funny that I have never really worked for an Indian client and I would have loved to do that, but just that opportunity never came. But these are great learnings. You get to see how different people in all of these different regions are so different in their workplaces. The culture is so different. For example, जब मैं US में काम करती थी, पहले तो मुझे काफी ज़्यादा बड़ा culture shock लगा था because people over there are really confident, really sometimes even aggressive. They're very vocal. They'll always put a point of view. For them, no, even if someone's 5 years senior to them, they treat them like a peer. So that's a different level of confidence that you and an independence that you have at a very young age, जो मेरे में तो honestly नहीं था. बट जब मैंने यूएस में 2-3 साल काम किया तब वो धीरे धीरे आसपास के लोगों से वो कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डअप हुआ. कंसल्टिंग के कारण मुझे डिफरेंट कंट्रीज में मूव करना भी काफ़ी आसान हो गया था बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली आई वर्कड इन MNCs which had offices everywhere. So when I was actually based in India, a lot of my clients were in US, so I used to travel to US quite a bit. Then when we decided to move to Hong Kong and then to Singapore also, I could make some of those intra-company moves and that really helped, which if it was an industry then I'm not sure if it would have been as seamless क्योंकि consulting is also very location independent. तो आप कहीं पे भी बैठ के दूसरे इंसान के लिए कंसल्ट कर सकते हो. Fourth takeaway, consulting has literally taught me the importance of networking. I know networking term के साथ बहुत ही नेगेटिव कॉनोटेशन जुड़ जाता है कई बार एंड व्हेन आई हैड स्टार्टेड वर्किंग ये वर्ड इतना ड्रिल डाउन कर दिया था ना मेरे दिमाग में कंसल्टिंग लाइक दिस होल इंडस्ट्री दैट लाइक आई वाज क्वाइट अगेंस्ट इट टू बी ऑनेस्ट क्योंकि एज अ यंग 20-something year old मुझे लगता था कि networking is all about making those relationships so that those relationships can help you progress towards your career and not the actual good work that you are doing, which is really not what networking is. क्योंकि धीरे धीरे मुझे पता चला इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ नेटवर्किंग कि अच्छा काम जो होता है ना वो आपको करना ही होता है एंड दैट्स ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू बिल्ड अ नेटवर्क. व्हेन पीपल सी योर गुड वर्क दे वांट टू बी एसोसिएटेड विथ यू एज वेल. And now I realize that your connections can help you so much, especially consulting में क्योंकि different तरह के problems आपके पास आते रहते हैं but similar kind of projects would have been done in the past. And if you don't have a network, you will have to start from scratch. But if you have a good network, you know who to reach out to in those kind of situations, then they can help you a lot by knowledge sharing. They can give you a lot of perspective on different things. You can, you know, if you have someone from a different region, like आजकल मैं साउथ ईस्ट एशिया में काफी प्रोजेक्ट्स कर रही थी. इफ समवन्स बेस्ड इन फिलीपींस दे विल बी एबल टू शेयर यू द कल्चरल एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ फिलीपींस. You can also find a mentor, and that's the power of networking. I have had a lot of unofficial mentors in the organizations that I've worked in because I was able to talk to those people. Initially ऐसा नहीं था, but धीरे धीरे ये हुआ. And today I realize that it's impossible to survive as a solo entity in this hyper-connected world. You really need to build those professional relationships and a professional network. And today I also feel less hesitant to reach out to a new person in the office who I've never met, you know, to just strike a normal conversation without agenda. इन सब चीजों में अब काफी comfortable हो गई हूँ मैं, which is really the crux of networking. The fifth biggest takeaway for me from consulting is time management. Consulting के day to day में ना इतना सारा काम होता है, not just client delivery but also practice development, lot of personal work as well, lot of firm development activities. और कई बार ना तुम बहुत ज़्यादा overwhelm हो जाते हो इन सब चीज़ों में, but this also pushes you to manage your time better and do things more efficiently. मैं कंसल्टिंग ज्वाइन करने के पहले मैं कभी ऐसी टू डू लिस्ट नहीं बनाती थी क्योंकि मुझे लगता था कि ये सारे काम है मेरे मतलब दिमाग में रहेगा, आई विल रिमेंबर. बट when you are overwhelmed with too many things to do, you are actually pushed to make those to-do lists. You are compelled to create buckets of priority items versus non-priority items, and generally you just learn to prioritize better. You learn to do things more efficiently. You learn to declutter the noise from your life. एंड ये सिर्फ बहुत सारे चीज़ों के कारण नहीं, इवन ड्यूरिंग प्रोजेक्ट डिलीवरी एज यू ग्रो मोर एंड मोर सीनियर, बिकॉज यू आर ओनिंग योर ओन पीस ऑफ वर्क, राइट? सो तुम्हें खुद ही को, तुम्हारे दिमाग को वो ट्रेन हो जाता है दैट अगर आज से 10 दिन बाद एक स्टीयर को मीटिंग है तो मुझे पहले 3 दिन शायद एनालिसिस करना पड़ेगा, नेक्स्ट 3 days maybe I'll have to put for putting that analysis on slides, the next 3 days I'm going to keep for reviewing. उस तरह की जो प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट और प्लानिंग वाला चीज होता है वो अपने आप ही करना पड़ जाता है. ओके, नाउ मूविंग टू द मोर exciting part, I guess, which is इतने सारे अच्छी चीजों के बावजूद भी why have I finally quit consulting? 3-4 रीजन थे, I won't lie, and the number one reason is I wanted to take more ownership of the outcomes that my work can bring. Now, consulting में होता ये है कि कई बार you are just analyzing the data and coming out with the recommendations which you hand over to the client. But execution is usually the client's responsibility. And when, as a consultant, you don't have insight into the execution, you are far away from all the on-ground realities. Executional challenges क्या क्या हो सकते हैं, उससे तुम परे होते हो, तो इसलिए जो outcome पे तुम्हारा ownership है ना, वो काफी कम होता है. So whatever recommendations you are giving to an organization, at the end of the day, you never realize how many of those were actually successful for the organization, right? क्योंकि execution में time भी लगता है, इतने time तक आप relationship भी maintain नहीं कर सकते client के साथ. So in my next role, I was quite sure that I want to do something for, not for a client, but for myself or for an organization which I'm a part of. Second reason is, in my total 10 years of work ex, I have always worked for these big organizations, MNCs, जहाँ पे काफी कुछ चीजें ना structured होती है and you just have to follow the process. I have never tried to work in a startup kind of an environment or in a growth stage company where the challenges are quite different because things are not as structured. कोई अगर issue भी आ रहा है, लोगों को पता नहीं होता है कि उसको solve कैसे करना है, बहुत ही ambiguous सी situations होती है and as a single person you have to play different roles as well in those kind of situations. And I just feel that whatever I do, my efforts can bring a lot more impact in that kind of a setting versus a setting which is more structured and mature stage companies जो है, वहाँ पे तुम कम impact ला सकते हो. The learnings are also very different. Now that I've been through set systems and processes, I know what the end state should look like for any growth stage company. And I want to now go into the grassroots and face those executional challenges and see what works out versus what doesn't, Also, मुझे लगता है कि growth stage companies में तुम्हारा professionally भी तुम्हारी growth काफी ज़्यादा होती है, fast होती है. For example, you would have seen companies like Flipkart or even Swiggy, Zomato, जो लोग शायद पिछले कुछ साल में ही एकदम ग्रो कर गए हैं, वहाँ पे आपको 22-23 इयर्स के लोग एक छोटा सा डिवीजन लीड करते हुए दिख जाएंगे. इस तरह की सिचुएशन आपको कभी बड़े कंपनीज में नहीं मिलेगा बिकॉज द ग्रोथ इज जनरली स्लोअर. So that was reason number 2. And number 3 is, honestly, I really did not see myself growing in consulting anymore. जितना मुझे सीखना था मैंने सीख लिया है already. And 2 साल अगर और मैं consulting में रहूंगी ना, so I'll get selling responsibilities, project selling responsibilities. And that's a different kind of learning, but honestly, I'm not very interested in selling. I enjoy delivery work. जब कोई complex सा, situation आता है, problem लेके आता है client तुम्हारे पास, and you are able to break it down and come up with a few solutions for it, that gives me a bit of an intellectual stimulation compared to selling, because selling में बिल्कुल ही अलग तरह का skill set चाहिए होता है. आपको mainly project delivery से ज़्यादा आपको समझना है कि clients की needs क्या है, clients की issues क्या है और आपकी company की solutions क्या है, उसको pitch करना है. And that's really not the thing that I want to build myself into, although that's a great skill to have, but just as a person, I don't see myself doing that as much. So, what's next for me now that I'm moving out of consulting? Well, I'm not moving out of corporates yet. So, I will be joining a growth stage company in the tech space, I guess you can say. I'm going to take an in-house role in a Singapore headquartered company itself. Maybe once I settle in over there, I'll make a full video on what I do, what my responsibilities are, what are my initial learnings, etc. But तब तक के लिए तो I'm just very excited about this new change in my life because काफी different होने वाला है. For as long as I remember, I've been doing consulting and I don't even know, honestly, if I'll be a good fit in the new workplace that I'm going to join. But well, you just have to take some leaps of faith sometimes, right? And that's what I'm doing. And and hopefully whatever my learnings are going to be, I'm obviously going to keep you all updated here. Consulting related videos कम नहीं होंगे क्योंकि 8 years of consulting will always stay with me. So if you follow me for that kind of content, keep following, and maybe also drop me what kind of videos you would like to see next. That's about it. Consider this a very casual life update kind of a video, and yeah, like कर देना इस वीडियो को, please subscribe भी कर दो. Help me reach 50K as soon as possible, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Till then, bye.